Hey guys, my name is Melissa Whitmer. I am the founder of Ultimate Results and the creator of the Ultimate Athlete Project. So today what I'm doing is I'm going to do like a short video recap of a recent Skyd article I wrote called The 5 Phases of Your Training Year. So the reason that my athletes in the Ultimate Athlete Project are successful is because it is all about long-term planning and having an organized plan, not just random workouts. And so today I hope that I'll help you to think a little bit more about how you want to organize your training year so that you can be at your best for the most important tournament of your ultimate season. So, okay, here we go. Okay, 5 phases of your training year, or how long-term planning is going to give you superior results. So let's just get right to it. I'm going to show you what I'm going to talk about. These are the 5 phases. So we've got postseason, off-season, preseason, in-season, and taper. Now, why exactly is this important? So when we're training like an athlete, we want to have a long-term organized plan. But one of the errors I see is that too many players jam all of their training into the preseason. And while this can work, you can get in shape in a few weeks. It's not going to give you optimal results. We all know that you can cram for an exam, and that works sort of, but that's not the best thing to do for long-term learning. And it's not the best thing to do for your body. So what I want us to do is to not do this. Also, when we're trying to jam all of our training into a few weeks or a month, we're going to be trying to do a lot of things at once, trying to get stronger, get faster, all at the same time. And that doesn't really work because that places competing demands on the body. So it doesn't get you optimal results, and it does not create durable athletes. And that is something that's really important to me and something that the Ultimate Athlete Project does well. And I'll explain that in just a second. Other reasons why it's important. What you do in the off season, it really sets you up for your largest gains in athletic performance and gives you the best chance of reducing your injury risk and being healthy throughout the season. And also, I believe, gives you the best chance of being a long-term athlete and extending your career, not feeling like you're all washed up by the age of 30. So that's just some of the things that we want to do with our training. Okay, and so here's kind of what I mean by durability. And I think that people underestimate the role that the off-season and that strength training plays in endurance and in stamina. And kind of what I call general durability. So here's 2 examples. These are Ultimate Athlete Project members who emailed me, and we're pretty excited about some of their results. This is from a high school girl player from Massachusetts. We just had our first tournament yesterday, and I lasted the whole day. Okay, maybe the last game was a little rough. I played the puke chase mark in our zone and junk defense almost every point. And it is amazing how not so sore I feel today. And that, is an example of kind of like short-term durability for the weekend, being able to last late into the day Sunday and feeling good the day after a tournament. And that's what you can expect for yourself if you really do prepare yourself with long-term in mind. Here's another one. This is kind of like long-term durability. At the end of last season, I felt more athletic than I had in years. I'm getting stronger now in the off season, and I was injury-free for the first time in 3 years. So this is a Masters player, I believe. And so this is kind of about long-term durability, not being injured and, being able to play at your best late into your career and kind of hold off the sands of time a little bit and to be healthy and to feel good at the end of your season. So that's kind of what I think is really important because staying on the field is important if you want to have fun. So we want stamina and durability. Okay, so let's talk about these 5 phases in a little bit more detail. I'm going to tell you when you're going to do them, how long they should last, and sort of what you want to be doing during your 5 phases. Okay, so, whoops, let's make sure we're on the right page. So the first phase is the postseason. The purpose of the postseason is to recover both physically and mentally from your training. How long this is going to last and what your postseason is going to look like is going to vary a lot from individual to individual. Just depends on maybe how burnt out you're feeling. It might depend on how many years of playing you have. Those who just started playing seem to not need as much mental recovery as those maybe who have been playing for 10 years or so. But I encourage everyone to take some time off because it's also good for your body. But you shouldn't be a couch potato. You shouldn't be totally lazy. So some things that you should do is you should try to find new ways to stay active. I think it's really great to do cross training at this time, just to have your body work in different movement patterns, or even better is like learning a new sport or a new activity, and just kind of having fun with it, especially if you've been playing Ultimate for a long time. Sometimes Ultimate can get to feel like work if you've been working hard all season. So playing a new sport that you're not good at for fun is really kind of freeing. So I think that's a good thing to do with your postseason activity. If you have injuries, postseason is the best time to do your prehab and take care of it and get ready for training. So I recommend at least 3 weeks. Take off 3 weeks for your postseason. Could be up to 2 months depending on how you're feeling. If you had a really rough year or whatever, just need some extra time, don't be afraid to take that extra time. But at the same time, like I said, you want to stay active. If you're starting to take extra time at postseason and that's fading into just being lazy, well, that's not going to be good for your next season. Okay, next phase is the off season, and this is where champions are made in the off season. The purpose of the off season is to build a foundation of strength and power, and the methods you're going to have to get in the gym. There's no substitute for resistance training, and it's best if you're doing some strength training and also some power development in the weight room. But at the very least, you got to get in and do some strength training. That's a little bit easier for some people. Get in the weight room with a functional strength plan. There's no substitute. Body weight exercise can only get you so far. So you really have to figure that out. And the other important piece of the off season is to decrease your playing and your conditioning. So this goes back to competing demands. If you're trying to train everything at once, you're not really training anything. Training everything at once can work for new athletes, and it can work for a little while. But if you're really trying to tap into your athletic potential, you need to prioritize and you need to spend time on various athletic qualities, and it works better if you focus on kind of one or two at a time, and complementary athletic qualities. So you cannot develop strength and conditioning at the same time in the most effective way. So off season, you're going to decrease your playing and your conditioning. I know that's really hard for some people, but that's that's what you got to do if you really want to maximize your athletic potential. All right, duration, minimum 8 weeks. In 8 weeks you can do a lot. It could also be much longer. It may depend on again, what your goals are, what kind of level you're playing at. People in the Ultimate Athlete Project have the option of spending up to 24 weeks in the off season. The length's going to depend on your training age, skill development, and your goals. If you are a really new player, you probably need to spend more time on skill development. And you're still getting a lot of gains in that area of just learning how to throw better, etc. If you're a more advanced player, been playing longer, and if like your athletic ability is what's holding you back, then you can spend more time in the off season. Or if you're an older player, more time in the off season to really develop that base of strength and power so you can carry through the long and hard in season. You have those reserves of strength. Is a good idea. Okay, next phase, preseason. All right, this is where we do conditioning. This is where we get ready for the metabolic demands of our sport. This is where we do conditioning. Methods that I like to use for conditioning or preseason are interval training. This is also where we get more sport specific with our training. So we might work on footwork, we might do cutting drills, work on our cutting mechanics. We might top up our speed and agility work and focus on those to get really ready for the movements we're going to do on the field, and also being in shape for what we're going to be doing in the field. So depending on your starting level of fitness, your preseason can be as short as 6 weeks. It doesn't take that long to get in shape. I know Ultimate players always feel like they're not in shape no matter what they do, but you really can get a lot of gains in 6 weeks. It can be as short as 6 weeks, especially if you have been, against my advice, playing in the off season, or in the off season, you might not ditch your conditioning completely. You might play once a week, but you really decrease it. So, if you've been kind of sort of maintaining your conditioning, you definitely can have a very short preseason. Should be no more than 12 weeks. You do not need more than 12 weeks to get in shape. Okay, so again, preseason is where most ultimate players like to focus. So that should not be a problem for you. Now, in season. This is also, I see problems with players in-season planning when they're trying to make gains in the in-season. If you haven't done the prep work in the off-season, then the in-season is going to be tough for you. And there's really no way around that, especially if you're an elite level club player. The in-season is hard, it's long. So the purpose of the in-season, primarily purpose has to be to stay healthy. You're not going to do your team any good from the sideline, or not as much good. So you want to stay healthy. And you also want to maintain the gains that you gained in the off season, if at all possible. And possibly, like, your third priority, way lower on the list, is making some gains during the in season, because the in season is long. And so here's the thing: you can't completely stop training in season, or you are going to be sort of backsliding because the season is long. So you want to at least be maintaining, if possible, gaining. Although gaining is a low priority. Staying healthy is the first priority. So how do we stay healthy? Methods: you've got to lower your volume of work. You can't just add playing on top of your training and expect everything to work out. So as your amount of playing increases, as your practice time is increasing and tournaments are increasing, you have to decrease your training time. And you have to be a little bit flexible. I don't want to say you don't want to be lazy in the in-season, but you do want to listen to your body. If your body is not recovering between workouts, it's okay to skip a workout in the in-season. So you want to be a little bit more flexible about your training schedule. You want to be a little bit more understanding with yourself and compassionate, and lower that training volume when you need to. And you need to be able to prioritize in the in-season to work on what needs to be worked on so that you can ditch some other things when necessary. All right. How long is the in-season? Totally depends on where you are. U.S. club season can start as early as May, as far as that's when tryouts are, and it can end in early October, so that's a long time. College season is a little shorter, maybe. So that's just going to depend on what your tournament schedule is. When it starts is also kind of flexible and depends on your, I wouldn't say your fitness, but your ability to recover from your workload. So whenever the demands of playing are interfering with your training recovery, that's when you really need to switch to the in-season. So that's going to vary from person to person and from team to team. If your team is one that doesn't practice together, then hey, you don't really have to be in-season much at all. If you're only doing one tournament a month and maybe you're meeting with your team every other weekend to practice, then you're not really ever in season so much. You're just taking a few days off, maybe, or taking a day off maybe after a tournament to recover. Okay, last phase. And the phase that for some is most mysterious is the taper phase. The purpose of the taper phase is to perform at your best. Whatever fitness level you're at is not going to change much at this point. So you're making the best of what you've got by decreasing your training volume to help you with some extra recovery. But you're going to maintain your intensity. At the end of your taper phase, you should feel loose. You should feel light on your feet. You should feel confident. You should feel happy about how your body feels, and you should feel ready to go. So you're decreasing your training volume and maybe to the point of getting a little bit antsy and wanting to move more. And that's a good way to feel going into the most important tournament of your season. So some things you want to continue doing. You want to continue doing your full warm-ups, continue doing your mobility work, because those are the things that can change over a short amount of time, and those are the things that are going to help you feel good. You want to make sure you're sleeping and eating well. You want to gradually decrease your training volume. It's going to start, could be as short as 2 weeks actually, but I like to start 3 or 4 weeks before the main event, because if you want to decreasing the training volume gradually works better. So if you start a little earlier, you can do that a little better. So those are the 5 phases. Again, we've got the postseason, we've got the off-season, preseason, in-season, and taper phase. So I hope that helps you kind of wrap your mind around the training year a little bit better. Let's see what's up here next year. All right, how to plan your training year. So the best way to plan your training year is to start backwards. Count backwards from your biggest tournament. Choose one, okay, if you can. Everyone wants to double peak and choose all the tournaments because all the tournaments are important. I know they're all important, but you know and I know that some are more important than others. So choose one to keep it simple. And then you're going to go backwards. So backwards from that, you're going to count 3 to 4 weeks, and that's going to be your taper phase. In season, we're going to kind of count sort of last. So wait, I feel like this is not. Oh wait, here we go. Yeah. Okay. So we're counting backwards. So taper is the 3 to 4 weeks before your main tournament, and you might not know that date, but you can be approximate. And then in season, again, it's going to be up to you how long that is, but kind of think about what your typical season looks like and when you typically start tournaments or team practices. And then preseason is going to be 6 weeks before that. And postseason is like 4 weeks like after your most important tournament. And so probably most of you listening, depending on where you're listening to this, are already after the postseason. So you don't really have to worry about that too much. The off season is everything else. So whatever time you have that is not any of the other phases, that's going to be your off season. And regardless of how you're scheduling, I mean, depending on where you are here, maybe you are crunched for time, you want to carve out, like I said, at least 8 weeks for the off season. You might have to shorten your preseason to do that, or maybe your, some other things. You could maybe shorten your taper to 2 weeks, but you want to carve out at least 8 weeks for the off season, and then more time if you have it and are ready to do it. Okay, so here's an example outline. And again, I'm most familiar with the U.S. club season, so that's what I chose. The taper is going to be 4 weeks before regionals or nationals, depending on what you are gunning for. In season is typically going to be June to August, so pretty long time. Preseason might be April and May. That's when you're getting in shape for tryouts or for the beginning of practices, whatever. Off season, maybe December through March. You could even start earlier. Start pretty much after you're ready to start, after you're recovered from your postseason. So postseason is going to be after regionals or nationals or sectionals, and then 4 to 6 weeks. So this is just kind of a rough outline. Okay, and so we're not being like too detailed here, and you shouldn't be like too uber detailed in your plan, but you should make a plan. You should know kind of what you're trying to accomplish over the next month or two. And then you're going to fill in the details later. Okay. So here's another example outline. College season, or trying to peak in the spring. College season can be a little bit more tricky, but here's kind of what I recommend for college university student in the U.S. So your regionals, nationals is in May. So your preseason is going to be maybe June. And the tricky part is summer. There's a lot of playing opportunities. So you're probably going to be playing some. It's probably not going to be a true off season, especially if you join a club team to get some more experience. And so what I would actually kind of consider doing is treating the fall semester as your off season, especially if you're the type of team that's got to train its freshmen. I mean, your practices are just not going to be able to be as challenging for you if you're an upperclassman. And so I would treat the fall season or fall semester as sort of your off season and get in the weight room and kind of prioritize that. If you're a captain of a college team, I think it would be kind of interesting to help your upperclassmen prioritize that in the fall season so that they can have more time in the weight room to really prepare. And then your preseason can be February to maybe mid-March. It's kind of pushing it. I know that you've got some tournaments in March probably that are important. And then your in-season is maybe mid-March to April, and taper is going to be 4 weeks. You might have to shorten this taper. It could be 2 to 4 weeks before regionals or nationals. And that's kind of how I would fit everything in for a typical college season in the U.S. Or for a spring kind of national schedule. So I hope that helps you think about how you want to structure a training year. So again, that's just a very big picture outline. So now what? You have the basic outline, and now you got to start filling in the details. So when you're filling out the details of your long-term training plan, if you're doing it yourself, you shouldn't worry about getting too detailed too far in advance, because if you're making a training plan for yourself, you might want to make adjustments along the way. The athletic qualities you need to work on, you might change your mind about in a month or two. So I'd recommend planning just 4 to 6 weeks ahead with what type of workouts you want to do. And then, before your 4 to 6 week phase ends, like a week before, start thinking about the next 4 to 6 week phase and what you want to work on and what you want to accomplish. If you want a ready-made plan, we have that in the Ultimate Athlete Project. That's what the Ultimate Athlete Project provides. And so we have, we basically have it all planned out for you, and also the flexibility to decide when you are changing between off-season, preseason, in-season, etc. And so, yeah, if you want to check that out, I encourage you to do so. Regardless, whatever training plan you use, I hope that you are at least convinced of the importance of not putting all your training into the preseason and kind of extending it out and focusing on building some strength in the off-season and some other things. So, okay, great. So I hope that was helpful. And if it was, I hope you like this video on YouTube or wherever you're watching it, and share it with your friends, of course. That'd be really helpful. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment on the page, and I will try to get back to you. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you around.